Perfect.
Good. We have all these to set.
Okay.
So we are in, for some, a normal situation. You are now in Marco's camera here. You're in another camera through another screen, and also on this screen, and I'm also on this screen. How would you describe this situation? Is it a tech addiction we're seeing here? Is it narcissism, or is it just sheer madness?
I think what we're seeing is normalcy. We've lost our abilities to focus for periods of time even more than a few minutes. And that's dangerous.
In playing games, same concentration on studies. Then your future will be very bright.
My time of using computer became more and more.
这是一个需要政府来给予指导，这是非常重要的。
Den amerikanska västkusten, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, bara en bit härifrån. Här föddes drömmen om en dator till alla. Och numera finns den också i fickor och väskor hos ganska många. Och visst, det är ett vettigt verktyg i vardagen, inget snack om saken. Men man kan också invända en aning. Vad är vitsen? Varför är det så bra att hela tiden vara ansluten eller uppkopplad, som de flesta säger? Och varför ska allting hela tiden gå fortare? Och om man räknar alla de timmar vi tillbringar framför alla våra skärmar, har den skärmtiden verkligen förbättrat våra liv så mycket som vi ofta får höra och tycks tro? Eller är det bara så att en gammal korrespondent inte fattat grejen, helt enkelt? Spel och sociala medier, alla sitter fast. 1,5 miljard människor har en smart telefon. I Indien är datorerna hoppet om en bättre värld för alla. Barnens framtid finns i telefonen. I Kina är beroendet ett samhällsproblem. Lösningen? Omskolning förstås. De som mår dåligt i Amerika åker på retreat, på avgiftningsläger. Så vad gör tekniken med oss? Kan man leva utan den? Och vart är vi på väg? Ja, har vi lämnat civilisationen, den kaliforniska civilisationen bakom oss och tagit oss upp i bergen en bit. Jag tror att jag har tappat täckningen också på telefonen nu, och det är ju meningen. För hit upp kommer alla de här människorna som har fastnat framför sina skärmar, sina telefoner, ständigt uppkopplade. Hit upp flyr de för att avgiftas. Redwood-träden kan bli över 100 meter höga, de största i världen. Och kanske växer ödmjukheten en aning i trädens skugga. Levi Felix vet att träden gör gott för oss människor.
When you spend time in the forest or in the woods around trees, that your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down, and in fact your white blood cell count, your natural born killers, boosts. So when you come in the forest, you know, it's not a joke that you feel better. You know, it's science, it's life.
Själv var han på väg i högsta fart när kroppen sa stopp.
You know, I had an amazing life when I lived in Los Angeles. I worked with a tech company. I was doing cool things, interesting things all the time. But I never stopped. It was wake up, check my phone, get emails, get in the car, listen to a podcast, get to work, have coffee, have a meeting. Every moment was filled with something. I had an iPhone, I had a BlackBerry. I was on. And one day I got really sick. So I get to the hospital, and what they found was that I'd been bleeding internally. They found that I was on the verge of dying.
Levi Felix la om kurs och efter över 2 år på resande fot i Asien kom han hem med idén att hjälpa andra undvika hans kraschlandning. Det blev ett avgiftningsläger, en retreat från den digitala drogen. Och hit kommer de som upptäckt problemen med sin uppkopplade tillvaro.
I think that in the real world, people are really afraid of connecting with themselves. And even when they want to, there's so much distraction. People are really uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. So even in a drive from A to B, people are on their phones because that 5 minutes alone with themselves is so uncomfortable that they have to fill the space. Here, you learn to take the anxiety out of being uncomfortable and just sit with it.
Emily Anholt har varit med på retreaten och ser en koppling mellan ångest och våra liv på sociala medier.
It's become sort of an addictive substance where it temporarily relieves that anxiety, and that temporary relief of the anxiety allows an individual not to face the real root of the anxiety. So they get their fix, and it fixes it just long enough that they don't have to really examine what's going on. When it wears off, they need another hit. And now it's at our fingertips in such a tangible way that every second we can get another hit if we need to, but it's not working as well as it used to. So we want more, and we need more ways to connect and quicker ways to get information and further, faster, sooner, and people are just getting impatient because there isn't that ability to sit and be.
We have, at the retreat, we have a period of silence where, you know, we talk about how in our daily life we consume about 30 to 40 gigabytes of information. And so we want to give our brains a chance to just decompress. So at the retreat we have a few hours of silence, or sometimes a day of silence. When they arrive, we take anything with a screen. So cell phones, iPads, computers, cameras, and even watches. So we don't want people to get stuck and thinking, what's next? What time is it? You know, what's going on outside of here? Just what am I doing now and how do I feel?
So how do you stay human in this high-tech world?
That's the trick, is to stay human, to find your humanware amidst the software and the hardware.
Psykologen Larry Rosen har i 30 år nu studerat våra liv i den digitala verkligheten.
And there's 2 ways that I like to talk about people staying human. One is to recognize that technology is overloading your brain. It's taking your brain, taking it places that are very heavily laden with sensory information, with neurotransmitters, and that you need to step back about every couple hours and do something to kind of calm, almost to reset your brain, like push a little red reset button on your brain, and then your brain is calm again. And there's certain things you can do to calm your brain, but the other thing I think that's absolutely critical is that somehow you learn to not react out of anxiety and to not grab that phone just because you're worried about somebody calling you, somebody maybe texting you that you missed, somebody emailing you. And that's a different issue. And that takes sort of behavioral training to train yourself out of that almost Pavlovian response. It's almost like you're salivating like Pavlov's dogs about your phone. And we need to train ourselves to learn to live without it.
En del av oss har levt i något slags lyckorus under den digitala revolutionen. Och först nu börjar vakna upp en smula. Så finns det många människor runt om i världen som fortfarande är frälsta. Som ser all tid framför skärmarna som någon slags nyttig erfarenhet, eftersom ju Datorerna ska vara biljetten in i framtiden. Vi ska till Indien, till Bangalore, som ju är Indiens Silicon Valley.
När Alekia och Bhuvaneshwari kommer hem med skolbussen till familjens minimala tvåa byter de snabbt skoluniformen mot klänning innan de bänkar sig framför sitt favoritprogram samtidigt som de spelar på mammans mobil.
I like video games. Video games and cell games. In phone games, mobile games, in computer also. In my father's phone, I played Apple game, bike race, cycle race, train game, robber's cat. That's it.
Men snart får de följa med sin mamma och handla. Vid affären finns en gammal telefon som är ur funktion sedan länge. Men som ändå är rolig att leka med. Innan de promenerar vidare till lekparken. De rör sig sällan utanför sitt kvarter, men det betyder inte att de saknar kunskap om vad som finns bortom dessa gator.
In Niagara Falls, Eiffel Tower, we cannot go that way. But they can see in internet, Google, that may they gain any kind of knowledge. That is very useful.
Rapchik, they double the ball करने वाली जलेबी पाई. Keep doing it. Yeah. Bring the beat for right back. Like this.
Bangalore är Indiens motsvarighet till Silicon Valley. Varje år utexamineras hundratusentals ingenjörer och Indien är ett av världens ledande IT-länder. Industrin har skapat miljontals nya jobb och alla världens stora IT-företag finns i Bangalore. På ett av dem arbetar pappa Someskar.
In 2001, that time only I started my computer career. That time my favorite game is Prince of Persia. For that game only I joined into IT industry. Now I am very happy I am a software engineer.
Så fort Someskar kommer hem ropar barnen på hans personliga datasupport.
I feel very proud. When I'm in small age, I don't know about the gadget name itself. Now I have full knowledge, so I will give a good way to my kids.
Daddy, Angry Birds teacher,
My daughter will play one game, play it. It's a puzzle game. So by using that game, I came to know that their logical power will be improved. This one is too good for kids. Now only he is smart. After 10 years, he will be too good. He will play one game in train game. Trains will come and he has to run. We have to skip the obstacles. He is good at that playing. So you know, if he has to face any problem, he will nicely escape. He is a future robotic engineer. He will develop his own game. It's virtual game he will develop. If they will succeed in for one game, their life will be settled.
I want to work in software engineer, like my father. And I also like my father.
Men innan de stora barnen tillåts fortsätta att spela är det läxläsning som gäller. Liksom de allra flesta indiska medelklassfamiljer är barnens utbildning det allra viktigaste.
Games are very important, but there is a limit. Even I told my children that you will play games. That much time, you will study the books. In playing games, same concentration on studies. Then your future will be very bright. At present time, they are not addicted. In future, I don't know. Because my children are very small, I don't know the negative things.
Whenever they have free time, they will play. Sometimes they will play up to night 11, 12 also, if they really want. They are playing like that only.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Anna.
Good night.
What is up, guys? My name is
I worry about the young kids who spend their time playing Minecraft and dreaming about Minecraft. It's a wonderful game. It builds cognitive skills, it builds connective skills, but it also builds pleasure. And I worry about that. I worry about the fact that they are connected all the time, and it's not good for them. They're missing out on a lot of things. Not that they should give it up, but there has to be some sort of balance and moderation here. And it's our job both as parents and educators to instill that balance. You can't just pop a smartphone or a tablet in a kid's face and figure, oh, they're going to be fine. You can't do that. You have to moderate their use. You have to make sure what they're using, how they're using it, and you simply have to parent or have to educate.
In the West, we're talking about this as a problem, the addiction as a problem. In China, for instance, they do recognize it as an illness. And being in an authoritarian system, they want to treat it as an illness or unwanted behavior by correcting it.
Vi kör söderut i Peking. Har fått veta att vi ska leta efter en militärförläggning där kliniken ska vara inhyst. Men vi visste inte att ungdomarna som vi ska träffa, att de var inlåsta. Att de som en del av sin behandling tvingas underkasta sig närmast militär disciplin. De har fått diagnosen dator- eller internetberoende. Och de har föräldrar som betalar 30 000 kronor för en 3 månader lång behandling för sina barn som fastnat framför datorn.
My name is Li Yizhe and I'm 21 years old this year. And I live in Tianjin, China.
Väckning klockan 6, tyst efter 10 på kvällen. Lektioner, gruppterapi, fysisk träning, inga datorer eller smartphones. Yizhe säger att han gillar läget, men det gjorde han inte i början.
First time I saw this place, I think it's just no better than a prison.
De har liksom uniformer på sig. De är här 3-4 månader. De har inte rätt att resa härifrån om de skulle vilja. En ordningsman går runt och knuffar till på dem som råkar somna under professors föreläsning. Kort paus. Ungdomarna går ut och gör på stället marsch.
你好，你好，你好。这些孩子，来我们这个前都辍学了，全部辍学。 所有的大龄的都不参加工作了，对，天天就是在家，就是游戏。
Itcher lärde engelska under sina studier i Singapore. Men han mådde allt sämre, säger han. Kände sig deprimerad, hängde inte med i undervisningen och fastnade allt oftare hemma framför datorn. But what is the treatment? How do you treat them?
对于孩子的治疗，我们主要是2点，一个是心理治疗，一个是医学治疗，也叫生物治疗。那么我们心理治疗主要是主要是3个方面：认知治疗、人际关系的治疗和行为治疗。这是我们从心理学主要从这3方面来治疗。为什么要首先重点的做他们的认知治疗？因为这些孩子都非常自卑。
På kliniken bor även föräldrarna medan deras barn blir behandlade.
天天在屋里头拉着窗帘，怕见光，锁着门，就是不想跟你交流。我们都非常担心的。
My time of using computer became more and more. So every day, maybe 6 hours or more.
勇敢的。
Jag mår mycket bättre nu, säger Itcher. Omkring 8 av 10 blir kvitt sitt beroende efter behandlingen här, det påstår i varje fall professorn Tauran.
核心解决这个的问题的困难，就在于这个家长对这个网络怎么样就是监管孩子，这是一个需要政府来给予指导，这是非常重要的。你比如说现在中国的小学生都给他买了很多的，小学生都给他有什么 iPad 啊什么的，家长没有意识到这些东西对孩子未来有何种影响。
But I think the addiction is only the surface, the problem that on the surface. Everyone have their own inner problems, such as the relations on families or some dealing with pressure or dealing with their friends or some bad guys else.
Men inlåsningen och den stenhårda disciplinen, är det verkligen nödvändigt?
因为这些孩子在家，他每天都跑到网吧里边去，他很少在家的，所以这些孩子的，比如说他们的这种规则，比如说按时睡觉，按时学习，按时吃饭，就是他各种规则，就是比如说按时回家等等等等这些，他应该遵守的基本的行为规则，他们都没有。很多很多的规则，包括生活习惯，这些规则都需要在这个重新建立，不用这种方式是建立不起来的。
Itcher hoppas kunna lämna kliniken inom kort. Planen är att han nästa termin ska återuppta studierna i Singapore. Och hans mål och yrkesinriktning? Ja, Itcher tänker ägna sig åt utveckling av dataspel.
I Redwoodskogen på retreaten var Emily en av deltagarna och vi gör upp om att träffas hemma i San Francisco, den sociala, mediala verklighet hon måste leva i.
I think that the age group that I'm in is especially tapped into the social media, so I was really caught up in it for sure. I think that I would go so far as to say that I was and am a little bit addicted to social media.
Hon är snart färdig psykolog och hon kan jobba på sina tvångstankar.
But I still woke up this morning and grabbed my phone to see what had happened in the 12 hours that I was sleeping and get back to emails. I think I am one of those people who gets back to people so quickly now that when I don't, they think something's wrong. So I now almost feel as though I owe it to them to respond right away. On the one hand, I feel better equipped because I'm more mindful of it. Just in knowing that it's happening, I think it helps the problem. But at the same time, I don't feel as though I no longer need it because until everyone else pulls back a little, I will be behind.
Technology development is a wonder that can cause psychological problems. It can ruin your work life, your school life, your family life, your home world, everything, because you are so compelled, so obsessed to keep up. And a lot of the obsession, by the way, came about as soon as we got smartphones.
Så vi behöver logga ut, nollställa hjärnan, inte försöka göra allt samtidigt för att få alla kickar vi kan.
Well, I think part of what we see in multitasking is that we never allow our brains to go deeply into a topic. If our attention is being dragged away every 3 to 5 minutes, then how can we spend 20 minutes learning about biology or reading a book and visualizing the setting of the book, where it takes place, or listening to a teacher teach, or listening to your parent talk to you? We're always doing everything just sort of superficially. If we're constantly doing that, then we're never giving our brain time to sort of relax and slip into that mode where we daydream, where we're the most creative, where we let our mind just kind of wander away. We don't ever let ourselves do that. And then add on to that, the more time you spend multitasking or task switching during the day, the more troubled your nighttime sleep is. So now you've got a body that's sort of being battered all around. Too much stimulation, too short of focus, too little sleep, and that's not good for your body.
Min generation kanske inte riskerar att hamna i något skärmberoende direkt. Men de unga, de som är födda på 90-talet och det nya sköna århundradets barn, de som är vana vid att ha 3-4 skärmar påslagna nästan jämt, de kan tappa fästet, det vet vi. Få kickar mäter sig ju med de digitala. Ett nyttigt redskap kan alltså kanske bli en farlig leksak, den digitala drogen. Lite distans, både fysisk och mental, kan kanske vara klokt.
Te banga lo bike ngaza kindo kini ba benga nenga ndako. Ba benga na ndako yonde na tana komia papa fete pesa nga deliverance. Nzote pe komi na ngo kimia.
Vad är det som får människor i Kongo att betrakta sina barn som häxor? Och styrs världens största demokrati av stjärntydare?
I would say astrologers have 90% effect on politicians.
Se Korrespondenterna nästa vecka.